put a
No, it ain't.
HDMI on the back of that.
But yeah, it's pretty hard about it.
It's saying hang it on as well. Something else for you to lug around. A huge stand for it. Yeah.
So many applications.
Go for a little trolley in your
Good evening, everyone. All right, we'll get started. Thanks for coming down. We're just about on time, which is good. This is the Airstream members meeting for March 2015. Here at Parkside again. We've got our revamped video setup with a new screen and everything, so hopefully that'll be a bit better tonight as well. Welcome along if you haven't been before. We'll try and catch up and introduce ourselves a little bit later. The format is official business and a few presentations as well this evening, and we do that via live stream as well for any members that are not able to make it, so that they can catch up on what's been happening as well. So we'll have the usual reports from
How long are the streams available for?
a long time. They go on YouTube, so yeah. Yep. You can check out the YouTube channel if you want to see previous streams as well. So we have the usual reports tonight from Network Team and the committee, and we've got a few of our members who kindly volunteered to do a demonstration and a bit of a presentation with some slides, I think, as well, on their experience with the Raspberry Pi. So that should also be a little bit different and interesting to finish us off. We've also got some other announcements. Let's see what's happened recently. We had the ASLAN not last weekend, but the one before. And that was a bit of a rushed plan for that one, but it turned out quite good in the end. The usual team was down there doing as they do very well. We had quite a few, I think, I don't know, between 20 and 30 odd heads through the door, not including the actual organisers. So yeah, fairly successful event, and we'll get a formal report from them soon. I think it's a bit too early to actually get that from them. Next ASLAN, I'm not sure if there's a date, but you'll be hearing more from us probably 2 or 3 months from now. So keep your ears peeled if you missed that one. Stickers. We have new stickers. What does it look like?
There is a slide for it.
I won't steal Sean's thunder, but he has taken the time to organise another run of stickers. They're proper vinyl with the transfer sheet and everything as we've done before. We'll be selling them for a nominal fee to cover the production cost. You may get one thrown in if you renew your membership, or we'll think about that. We're not sure about that yet. Maybe when we break even on it. Dunno. So yeah, check them out. They're pretty awesome and much better quality, I think, than we've had before. These are proper UV protected and everything. So were the others, but yeah, they look pretty nice from here anyway. Maybe we can actually put one on something tonight and see what they look like. Have you done one yet? Nice. Okay. Other announcements. Now, Tony, you don't have any updates, but there are a few more fundraising things coming up in the works.
One's on the 29th of June.
So we're still looking for helpers for the fundraiser barbecue, as we always are. If you want to chip in on the day,
well, we might think about perhaps at next committee meeting talk about having another fundraiser at the Officeworks.
Officeworks, yeah, that was really good. Exactly.
Do that one anytime.
No worries. Other than that, have I missed anything? For those of you that are here, if you need access to toilets or whatever, just come and see me. They're just outside in the hall. And I think we'll hand over now to a bit of a network report. So, are you prepared, Justo? Of course you are.
I am.
This man has prepared some slides for you as well.
What?
So here's Justo from our network team, the network team coordinator, and he'll let you know what's been happening recently, at least in the last month, from a network perspective. And yeah, I'll leave it with you there, Justo. Aim for the red spot.
Red spot.
Yeah, I think.
Oh, my chest. Alrighty. So from a network point of view, we had a meeting a few weeks ago. Can't remember what day it was. But we all had our face-to-face. Was pretty straightforward meeting actually. We had to go through all our role descriptions and what we're allowed to do, what we're not allowed to do, and stuff like that, and what we have to ask for permission to do and stuff like that. So we didn't get into too much talking technical stuff, unfortunately. We talked about a few things, a couple of things I'll let you know right now. There is a proposal being developed to upgrade the Highgate Park to, what's that site called? Cement Hill, to a backbone. It's currently on the sector with 3 or 4 other sites. Since the network's getting bigger down there now, we're actually going to do a proposal to get the backbone link, to get it a dedicated backbone link. Not too much work's happened on that yet. Better for those guys down south, a bit more bandwidth for them. What else do we do? Yeah, that's not core network. We'll talk about that afterwards.
There's a lot of previous topics.
Yeah, we went through, as part of the network team, we went through and cleaned up a lot of old projects that were on the agenda for like ages. But just never got done, or there was no interest in getting done, or it didn't need to be done. So yeah, now the network team is kind of focused on the stuff that is pending and needs to be done instead of worrying about all this other stuff that doesn't need to be done, which is good for us from an organisation point of view. Do you have cacti? Does you have cacti on it? That's all good. So, bit of non-core network stuff. Does anyone have any questions about core network stuff, or something they want to raise with me? Something they would like upgraded? Something they would like done? Anything?
Can I ask, is there a stomach kit available anywhere?
Yes. I had Daz's,
Yeah.
and I lent it to Sean. Sean's got it.
I had a new one, borrowing it for you want to.
Yeah, and Tony's got one as
I'm
well.
aware,
He's
yeah,
down
yeah,
south,
yeah.
so there's a couple of them. They're the 2 that I'm aware of, I believe.
Is there a high fee?
Just make sure it comes back in one piece.
Wait for the elite transition.
I've got
You just said yes, just
That's right.
previous just
Probably
just across the road here.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
And she's got she can't get internet there, but
Yep.
her parents are on the other side of the road. But there, you might have to find some way to route them around Eastern. So at the moment, getting to
Yep.
putting stuff on the roof and.
So there's a new Highgate Park sector, which would be good for her.
Yeah, well, it's really just so that she can bounce through
No,
Eastern
but
to
you-
back to her parents for internet. But I mean, if we're putting them on Eastern at the same time, then.
Yeah, I mean that's if you need to use it, it's there.
From both roofs, I can see the Optus building and the
Yeah.
Santos building clearly in that direction, but towards them there's like a couple of massive trees, and they're both sort of in 2 cul-de-sacs surrounded by trees. as well,
Okay,
so not really much option to connect directly, but trees should be good.
Yeah, if you need any advice or anything when she does some stumbles,
Yeah,
happy to help you with that.
be more because I don't know what's at the other end to put up and see, but I'm pretty sure we'll be able to see plenty of streams.
You hope. Cool. Any other core network stuff? No? So I guess we'll talk a little bit about some stuff I know that's happened. So a couple of days ago we upgraded the Valley View link to Turingi to AEC using AEC Power Beam 400. Is it a 400? 500? 500?
A light. And a light.
And then whatever device Chris is using, which I think a Rocket Light. So we actually saw, from what I've tested so far, and I haven't done much testing, probably a 40% increase with throughput on the link, roughly. I don't know if you've done any tests, but that's roughly what I've seen. The link flies now, there's no issues with it.
Awesome.
Great success. The mounting on the power beam is a bit dodgy, but that's because they're the new mounts with one bracket and it's hard to not screw it up, and Cook knows about that. Something I noticed personally is we took the shield kit off the power beam once we put it up, and it made the link a lot worse. Like there was no increase in performance without that shield on. So that's probably something to consider with future AC deployments if there's a lot of noise like there is at Turingi. I know there's a few other things happening around the network. I know Sean's doing some stuff with GSPD and stuff like that, but if he wants to talk about it, he can.
There's pictures.
Yeah, it's got pictures, there you go. Unfortunately, I don't have any pictures of the power beam on the mast, but it was a long day. Any questions about anything? Anyone want to know anything?
Fingers at
Was it so?
Tonsley Park?
Tonsley Park.
Tonsley, yeah, there hasn't been any progress on it. We tried to get there a few times, but unfortunately, life took control.
So all your fault.
You
Oh,
blame,
wow.
you can blame me as well.
His fault.
Playing this guy being
I hope we could do something on Saturday, Friday.
We tried and just,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's just now that Paul's teaching as well. He's it's like trying to organise time that we're available. He's available is a bit iffy. Do you have a question?
Yeah, my question. In regards to noise and how nano beams or ubiquity products detect noise, is it a standard of? Is it really noisy if it's like above like 100?
It depends what you're talking about. There's the noise floor and noise is different. So you got to think about that.
How do you know it's noisy?
Well, with the AC stuff, it's really easy because you get the constellation diagrams as well, and it also works out signal to noise for you properly in a nice little graph kind of thing. So noise floor, I don't really know how to explain it because I haven't had that much experience in actually getting a good result from using noise floor as a kind of standpoint. Chris might be able to shed some light on it if he has any more knowledge of noise floor than I do.
Well, we know a little bit more with the ACP that noise floor pretty flat, but the biggest main issue you have is the noise floor plus interference, which is other radios or other radios nearby.
Yeah, so that's another thing. Noise floor doesn't really include interference either.
No.
Yeah. So that's why the AC stuff has like a separate kind of tab for it. Kind of it's like a box, but it tells you like the signal to noise and all that kind of crazy stuff. I was gonna say it could show on constellation the diagram from the
Or do you basically
power beam.
determine noise as it's trying hard to connect?
Well, with AirView, it's pretty easy to see because it's red and orange. But unfortunately, we don't have AirView on these new power beams.
What's your current understanding of noise? What's your current understanding of it with your experience?
Oh, I don't physically know how to scan for it,
Right.
but I could just understand that there's lots of Wi-Fi around bouncing off each other.
Yeah. It's just other signals that you don't want to know about, huh? You know?
Just
You can see it in the
just
spectrum
what
analyzer.
technology can you use to scan for it, or know
Yeah.
that there's that much around?
Right.
Yeah, so like AirView is a good tool to use. It's a good one that comes with the devices that we use.
We
Like I
can show
said-
you an AirView later. We could bring one up. It's
Yeah,
just-
we can do that.
Isn't there a formula that noise to signal?
Yeah, but I don't know what it is off by heart. Yeah, there is some formula stuff.
He's asking, how do you know if there's noise? How do you find it? How do you see that
When
it's
you
there?
scan it.
Yeah, so you have to have another radio that's looking for a particular signal. Any other signals are noise, essentially. But it's also things that you can't see, like a microwave oven's not going to put out a beacon that you can pick up on your scan list. So you're not going to know it's there unless you're looking at the complete spectrum as a picture. And we'll show you how to do that. You can do it with the Ubiquity stuff.
Yeah.
Or you could also determine that noise is a lot of noise is there because there's so many available links.
You'd make that assumption.
You can, that's an assumption, but yes. Yeah.
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 Is there more slides that you want,
I don't know, is it?
Sean?
GSBB
That's the
upgrades.
next topic.
For him or you?
For him.
I can talk.
He knows what I don't know anything about it.
All right.
Where's my little remote?
All right, thanks, Justin.
No problem.
So I figured I'd cover the topic that I've just done over the past couple of weeks. It's a massive upgrade at GSPV, our node on one of the schools out in the north. It used a whole bunch of different masting and mounts and conduit and everything else, so I thought people might be interested in what I actually put together. So essentially we looked at moving the gear from a TV antenna that was on the top of an admin block to the roof of the gym, which is already 2 and a bit stories high, completely flat, above the trees, great view. And with all the air conditioner stacks there, we actually came up with a plan of 2 separate masts on either end of the gym roof. Nice and short because you don't need much height because you're already above everything, and nice and easy to maintain. So I essentially went out and looked, because we've used tele masts and bits and pieces, but not a whole lot of short masts that don't need huge guy wires and everything else. And a mob in Holden Hill called Bitech, which Airstream now has an account with, and that's something we'll go through a little bit later. do a bunch of masting which have what's known as stay bars, which are solid bars that you then attach to any type of surface. So we used a similar setup at Oakden on top of the school roof there, and that's what we'll cover here on these. And essentially they just clip to the roof, so there's actually no penetrations for the masting to go onto the roof, which was one of the key things the school was interested in to ensure that there wasn't going to be any more water leaking, etc.
It's more water leaking,
Yeah.
or even.
Yeah, we know air conditioner holes they make, people don't ever quite line things up as they should. So the other part was then looking at what boxes I could put up on the roof. Because we had two masts, the idea of doing a standard 750 UP down the bottom and running cables up didn't really work, because we're going to have more devices than that. And so looking at boxes that are available, these are called a station box, which Duxtel sell. They're 60 or 80 bucks, not a whole lot of money for a sealed box. They're designed to have a lot of end connectors, so you can put in a MikroTik board, lots and lots of radios, lots of end connectors, and connect to everything. Of course, we don't really do a whole lot of end connector and coax work anymore, but this box is a sealed mount straight to the pole box with some glands built into it. So I opted to pick these as the mast, and these are the larger one, the carrier class, the CC, which is why they have 3 glands. There's a shorter one, which I believe Sam has purchased, which has 1 gland, but for the amount of cables I wanted to run through. And a new type of setup, which Chris and myself have been talking about, and we finally did some testing, is a gigabit PoE switch, not a router, up at the mast, and then a faster router downstairs to do all of the actual core routing. So normally we try to do everything in one device, be that an RB750 UP or the newer Edge router PoEs, where there's one device, cables come out of that, does both routing and PoE. But this scenario worked better to have the PoE devices up on the mast and all the routing downstairs. So I received the RB260 GSPs, but they didn't quite fit in the box, so I ripped them out of their casing and I could mount them directly to the backplane in the box itself.
Is the box ant friendly?
Ant?
Yeah.
It's sealed, weather sealed, so yeah, it would be. It's not quite as bad as the JCAL boxes where they develop colonies in the back.
biscuits here.
Yes, much better. So essentially, this is the RB850GX2, which is the router we're looking at using on a few more sites. It's a dual-core power PC, so it's got oodles of throughput, all gigabit ports, but no PoE. So great as a core router, not so much as powering any of the devices on the roof. These are a 5-port gigabit switch, so they run switch OS, not router OS, and they provide PoE, gigabit PoE as well. So in this combination, it worked out beautifully. And you'll see some pictures of them set up in a minute. So onto the masting. This was Bitek's clip track masting idea, and essentially the type style of roof that was on top of the gym is, I believe it's called clip track. It literally clips together and then clips to the roof, so there isn't actually clip lock, there you go. There isn't actually penetrations like your corrugated iron idea where they screw tech screws through. So we needed to work out how we can mount to this, and once we had a look at Bitek's offering, you could actually see that these literally just screw under the peaks of the roof. So once they're screwed in, they can't pull up unless the whole roof's going to pull up, but you haven't actually penetrated anything. So there's a base which can take up to a 50mm pole. This is a 38mm pole, and then mounts that these stay bars connect to. So we have 2 masts, an east and a west mast, that are completely solid, no guy wires, very easy to work with, and no penetrations. So in this scenario, and a lot of metal roof scenarios, this would work perfectly. You can get adjustable stay bars as well, so you can make it fit to whatever current roofing screws you have, and then you can basically clip all this stuff into existing roofing screws without making any further penetrations. So it was absolutely perfect for what we're trying to achieve, and there is a little cap in the top, not that it really matters, but very neat, stable installation. And
can be moved without having to worry about it for a while.
if it needed to be moved, you could unclip it and take it further down. The 38mm is the largest that the company Bitek will do, and 38mm covers all of the gear we do. The rocket dishes will go down to 30 or 20. You could do a different pole if you needed to, certainly. This is a kit that comes out. The nano beams, nano bridges will come down to 20mm or something, so 38 covers everything quite happily. How much? That whole mast setup was about $80. Bitek is just unbelievably cheap for what they're offering. That's with all of the clips and mounts and everything else. So it cost me about $160 for 2 masts.
Does it, like when you put the mast up, can you work with like a different pitch of roof as well?
Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
So that in the center is just a collar,
Yep.
like we put on any others, so that can then be adjusted. So this roof is actually sloped, so both of those are not perfectly in the right spot. They're slightly out of whack to make sure the mast itself is straight and to give us enough spacing for the footing on the tripod mast.
And what's their different
Why is
sizes they do?
Green. Oh yeah, you can get different size sway bars, stay bars.
Where the hell do you green conduit from?
It's not, it's orange. The colour on the...
Don't ask me. We played this. Before.
As an edging,
You could have had it.
it's missing orange. The grass is green. That's actually orange conduit.
It could be because you're on that cable though.
Who knows?
Yeah.
So yeah, with those two masts, so you can see the west mast and the eastern mast, so they're basically a mirror image of each other. Those station box Alu CC, because they've got a gland, I went across to the electrical wholesaler and they found me a 25mm to conduit adapter. So the conduit goes directly into the box, so the entire system is sealed. Unlike normally where we have to curl it around and pull some cables out and go up into a box, this is all the way in and glued in. So from the ground up, the whole system is completely sealed, glued together, can't come apart, and is all into the box, which has a weather seal. Yeah, I added all the
That was
conduit.
already there.
Nope,
Yeah,
nope.
okay.
And I would have gone with grey conduit for the whole roof, but because of the location next to the air conditioners, when the tech's up there, we opted to go orange for visibility so they can see it and don't trip over it and fall off the top of the roof.
We can tell people it's got power as well.
Yeah, it does have power. It's low voltage, but it's doing the job.
It's a good idea, really. I mean, if it's like, I mean, I know this has already been brought up, and I'm saying grey is difficult to see on a roof, especially when you've got a lot of glare.
It can be, and it sticks up
Yeah.
perpendicular to the way the roof is running in most
Why
parts.
does it go to the branch?
So both masts run down to the same piece of conduit to the roof. I should have drawn a little diagram if we had a whiteboard. Essentially, both masts run down. The long mast then runs across the whole way to the roof into this junction box.
Right, sorry.
Two masts. So then they all come down in there, and essentially it's just two network cables and two DC runs. So I've got the 260 GSPs running off their original power supplies on 24/4 or whatever it is, DC like speaker wire essentially. There's another mob on South Road dropped in to have a chat about what sort of thickness wire we might need for voltage drop, and they said that'll do fine up to sort of 80 meters or so. So essentially, without any equipment on it, it's a completely sealed, untouched, nice and neat setup, which is what I was trying to achieve. So starting to actually add some of the gear, you can see you can go up, down, left, right, anywhere on the mast. All of the network cables then come in the second holes. So you've got the conduit coming into the first, and then you've got two extras that you can whack two Ethernet cables in each quite happily with probably space for a third, and route everything straight into the 260 GSP. So everything's off DC power. We've got the main gigabit run on the first Ethernet port, and then up to 4 other devices on the mast running off the rest of it. We did find out on the long DC run, I had to enable the PoE first port long run and force power on for some reason. On the Ubiquity forums, a few people have actually stated with the MikroTik gear, they've had to enable this. But on the short run, it's fine, it auto detects PoE. So not quite sure what was going on, whether I've got a defective unit, but forcing power on all ports works beautifully. Not sure, but the power's coming in the DC socket, not the PoE, and I needed to enable long PoE run for whatever reason. Without it, the device actually reported a short circuit, which is what Chris was seeing with his setup, but that ended up being a cable. So yeah, forcing the long PoE run and force power, and it's happy. And that has 4 devices on it, a NanoBeam, a NanoBridge, a Rocket, and a Power Beam, and it's quite happy. 24 volt input from the 260 GSP power supply is about 21.5 volts up of the mast across about 60 meters of cable. So can't complain about that sort of voltage drop, and it's hovering about that quite happily. So if we were getting sort of 18 or 15 volt, then I'd be a bit more concerned, but the devices themselves will run down to 12 volts, so we're still in the space there. As I said, everything just runs down to the 850 GX2, so you've got 4 ports, so you can do 4 masts if you want. So something like this is potentially an idea for the high gates and the like, where we want to run 2 or 3 masts around the place. It was a bit of a trial for this site because it was very easy to access and it's come up really well, so it's something we can consider, and potentially even the ARCs and stuff, where we've got lots of gear all around the place. We want to bring it back to one device rather than having 2 or 3 core routers and having to cross over everywhere. The top of the mast is also quite happy, as you can see. I put the 500mm power beam on the very top and it hardly wobbles. You could quite happily move the stay bars up a little bit if you need to put rocket dishes or something right at the top. But again, with the master, you can then drop that down the bottom and you won't have too many issues. So yeah, that's been the Good Shepherd upgrade. It's still got a few more additions to come. The power beam link is down to Modbury, which is then going to eventually have an AC link up to Rostrevor to give us a nice fast path through there. I've moved Northfield from my house at Modbury North to Good Shepherd as well because it's got a much better path. So it's got the same signal it does before, even though it's out of alignment at Northfield because the path is so much better. So we're just waiting for someone to get to Northfield at some stage. That's purely a backup link, but to realign that to give us some better signal strength. Ingle Farm is going to get an AC upgrade. So at the moment it's still in the old 8 to 11N stuff. So that'll give us the higher speed path to Ingle Farm, and there's upgrades in the works to speed up Ingle Farm out as well. So we're starting to get some fairly high circuits out through Ottaway, Sefton, Ingle Farm, Good Shepherd, Rostrevor, Ridgehaven, etc. to really give us near 100 megabit connectivity through some of the major nodes, which is pretty exciting. So yes, that's the little upgrade that's happened there. There's still space on the west mast if people have sites that they want to connect up to Good Shepherd. There'll be 1 or 2 spare ports over there. At this stage there's sort of no plans to connect things over there, but with 2 easy ladders up and you walk straight up to the mast, it's very easy to add anything in the future if need be. So yeah, that's a little bit of an alternative for some masting equipment if people are looking for some different solutions on what they're trying to set up.
Looks really good.
It's working well. Do I just keep going then?
Are you guys using Cat 5
Yeah.
right up the top there?
Yeah, it's Cat 6, but Cat 5e, yep, just between the short run.
I say not flat Cat 5, just normal thick.
Yeah, the normal cable, yep. Because they're...
I know, it looked a little bit thin when it was going to that box.
Oh, no. Oh, you might be looking at the DC. DC wire is very thin. That was the really, really tiny cable, and the rest is Cat 5e, Cat 6. And because the PRE runs are really short up top there, then there's no issues with what type of cabling you're using. Aside from trying to add shielding, if you want shielding up there, yeah, everything's very, very short. So that's worked really well. So we'll keep moving?
Yeah, if you want to do that, and we'll get into the...
Sweet, the presentation. So a couple of announcements we got tonight is you may have seen all of this hardware has started to have a lot of these Airstream stickers all over them. Like Michael Kello had produced some a couple of years ago on some vinyl cutting machine he had access to. We've done some research and actually been able to source these ourselves so we can actually sustain our own stickers that are available. These are manufactured commercially, so they've got all of the coverings on them already, and essentially we're here tonight to announce release, make them available to everybody, because we've got a nice wad of 100 stickers here to get us going. That you guys can actually start purchasing and using these around the network, because we've had calls for stickers randomly over the years, but we've never had enough going, or we've run out and we can't source anymore. So giving ourselves the opportunity to make a little bit for Airstream, there's not much in it, but to give you guys some high quality Airstream stickers that you can then stick on your boxes, equipment. I don't know why that's so green. Back of rocket dishes, on the front of your dishes, on the side of your boxes.
It'll be a different colour on there anyway, I don't know.
Probably. I don't have a photo of the blue one, I'd put one up today. Yeah, it's
So
all eco-friendly.
I see you've been using quite a few there. How many have you actually got left now?
Well, that should be the same sticker, you just keep taking.
Yeah, about 21 left.
Photoshop's good.
So they come, as I said, with the pre-sticky on the front, so you can essentially peel off the back, whack it on your device, and then peel off the front. You don't have to stuff around with contact like we did with the other batch that we had.
One size.
They all come in the one size for now. How much? So they're all made with vinyl, UV protected. We've got blue, white and black, and we're offering them for $5 a sticker to members. As I said, the production costs for these are a little bit higher than the other ones, but they're slightly better quality, and we can keep sourcing them, so they'll be available all the time. We'll have some at every members meeting. They'll be available potentially through a few other people. We'll have some, so we can get them to people, and then we can reorder stuff. If people want other colours, let us know. At this stage, we're going to stick to these 3 sort of primary colours, but there's options. We could potentially produce something else. I don't think we'll need it. And sizes, as you said, that's another option. We don't know how many devices we'd need smaller. Potentially something that would fit on the top of 750s or something, but for now we're sticking with the original size because that worked really well on the bigger dishes, the smaller dishes, the outdoor boxes, cars if you want them, hence the white. Had a few people that stick them on their window. So you can get them from myself or Tony, wherever he is there. He can be a sticker man. There you go, Tony.
Thanks, mate.
And I might get you up for this. Shirts.
Oh, shirts, yeah.
Tim?
And our other announcement, which is still in the works, we're still finalising a couple of things.
Far too many projects on, yes.
But this is stuff that we're making available for people to really start branding stuff and getting bits and pieces so that you can show off and ice cream stuff. You can stand up and this is something that Firefox Nathan had.
Plus, I don't know yet, but it'll be the network team's official uniform that they have to wear at all times.
That too. That has done some research and we're in the we're sort of 90% of the way through.
Yeah, so
There's the man.
I had an idea a while ago. I know it sounds a bit lame, but when we had the 10-year anniversary, when we were handing out the bloody Golden Minotaur Award, I was like, we should have like a shirt, an identity that is kind of cool. Like, so I had a bit of an idea about thinking, this was a while ago now, about getting a shirt made. We've got shirts that have been around for a little while. I think they're all white.
Black t-shirts with a blue logo.
Yeah. So, same thing again. I'm thinking about doing, but like obviously like a nice polo. And on the so we'll be doing like the same thing. So embroidered on the front. Be careful I don't set it off. Yeah, so embroidered on the front, and then like on the back, I had an idea of pull up the DVD. I'll show you what I'm on about. But so I've had a thought like on the back of the shirt, you could have like lines where our links go, like maybe for our core network. And if we could sort of show people that like what we're doing is like, you know, how big our network is, because I often get a lot of people that ask, you know, what's their stream, what do they do? I say, oh, we've got stuff here, we've got stuff there, and they're always like, but where? And you know, without showing them an ODB, you can sort of just go on the back and say, well, it's here. I'm not having any names on it or anything like that, but just sort of like maybe like a mud map without, names on it, so just sort of lines. There's no idea, but...
Who's got the... Oh, here you go. I've just kind of done what you were trying to explain.
Oh, okay, just like in the last 5
I mean,
minutes.
it won't necessarily look like that, but...
I haven't done any drawing at all. All I've really done is just gone out and get some prices and figure out where to go and who to talk to, but yeah.
Something like that, but
something
not
like
with
that.
all
I mean, I've seen the surf lifesaving guys, right? A lot of them have got, like, in particular, like the Henley one or whatever.
And probably with an outline of the map.
Yeah, and they've got like an outline, and then they've got like, you know, let's just say for instance they've got like Henley, and they're saying like, you know, 5 lives saved or whatever the hell. But I'm saying like, we could have something like that on the back, and it would look, I think it would look kind of cool with just having like an outline. But you could have whatever colour. But yeah, and it doesn't really cost a lot of money to get that printed as well. Like we're only talking like, it's like $6 a shirt extra. So like a shirt like what I showed before was...
Screen print or...
That'll be,
Yeah, so the lady that I spoke to, she said to me straight away that it would not, like, given whatever we use or how thick it is, it wouldn't like peel off like you think it would, like with paint. So they use like an ion-on transfer. They found that it's actually a lot better than paint.
Yeah,
So yeah,
we're going to give you a link, we can just enter it in.
yeah, that's it. Just like, so yeah, originally I thought like, yeah. So originally I thought like for a 10-year reunion thing or like anniversary, we could say this is what the network looked like, but obviously we're past that now.
That would be cool if we'd done that for like every year, and then you have
Well, I
one
mean, yeah.
shirts every year, you could see the links growing through it.
Yeah.
So as long as you're overweight to fit,
Yeah, it's getting.
gets too
So
busy.
you get like people who've got lots of lines go, oh, you noob, you know. We've got 2 links on mine.
I'm not like going to the point of like writing your name on the back or anything like that while they're doing tournaments and gaming and stuff, but
like a bowling team.
yeah.
Wi-Fi team. That's killer.
Yeah, Wi-Fi team. So it works out to be $20 and $30. So
We're trying to get it down to.
yeah. The best thing about this is that like with the previous run of shirts, we sort of had to get a whole bunch made, bring them to the thing, and then they'd stay in the box until someone goes, oh, I want a shirt, and you know, I'm not only this size, I need that size. Whereas these guys are like, you can come in and say you want an extra large blue or red or whatever, and then they go, okay, well, I'll have it ready for you next week. And because they've already got all the embroidery and the stuff on the back, and there's been talk about doing half and half or whatever, but yeah, you could literally just go there and get your shirt sorted out, and you wouldn't have to stock them. So
What we're thinking is sort of doing a rolling monthly order, so we give them a bit more volume at once, so we'll have a Google form or something.
Yeah.
You can then just apply, pay us the money, and then when the month ticks over, we'll just process whatever's been ordered.
Yeah.
So that they're doing more than one at a time, hopefully. But then you can just order them whenever you want them, rather than as Nathan said, shirts sitting there for 4 years.
yeah, if we got any shirts left,
Because no one fits a medium.
I think we've got rid of all of them
extra
now.
We've got a few t-shirts left.
Oh, is there t-shirts?
But they're all odd sizes.
especially we look kind of cool when we do build or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying we all wear the same colour, but yeah.
We'll start with shirts. They've got PPE gear.
Yeah, these guys do high vis as well, so
all
we
sorts
could
of stuff.
theoretically just get some.
The stuff they use is JB wear, and they're really good quality. Actually, like the same sort of stuff we use at work. I work in mining and stuff now, but yeah, it's all like fairly high quality, and it's very cheap. It's not very expensive. And like say for instance, we do our fundraising events. Like at least we look a bit more professional or whatever.
Yeah,
but
definitely for those. Yeah.
So yeah, that's an idea. But yeah, I'm always open to feedback. If anyone's got any ideas or colours, or like, do you want, have like an embroidered with like a black outline or white outline. So things like that we're sort of getting a gauge for, and again, how many shirts you'd want. I mean, I'd probably get one at least. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I'd probably get one or two. Yeah, so an idea.
Yeah, awesome.
So,
Yeah, you'll hear more from us anyway. We'll get some
Yeah.
kind of form organised to put up, and at least that way we can get a better idea of what people actually want.
Yeah.
And then if there's a common thing there, we can maybe do a bulk order. I don't know if they'll do any discount.
Yeah.
Maybe.
but yeah, again with the idea on the back is that like it's kind of unique to us. Like we have something that's kind of really special, and that's what sort of like it's something we can promote or whatever. But yeah, it's something that we can say like, oh yeah, there's a network, and this is what it looked like in 2015 or whatever. Yeah, so it's an idea. Yeah.
Awesome.
Cool, man. Thanks for that. Is it time for some pie?
Green pie?
Green pie.
Unbelievable.
That is weird, isn't it?
That's what
Do you want to try
everyone's
to
here for. Where's the pie?
I don't know if it's. It doesn't look like it's every other colour's alright.
Maybe they
What are we on?
flipped a few pins around on this TV.
Probably the old.
Green raspberry.
That doesn't help.
Don't know.
Oh, you have to show us which colour is white.
Oh, we'll see once it goes to HDMI. Do you have something you need to show? Or?
That's which ones I want. So
Yeah.
Oh, is it? Is that all?
I'm just going to talk.
Yeah.
Go for
Do you
it.
want to go first?
Come on up.
Okay. Huh? Next quick one.
You have to go around, I think.
No, I can squeeze it. It's all good.
Just knock all the stuff.
That's a good. Boys.
Move 12. Just move 12.
It's got like what's the USB ports on it?
That's a huge area, that USB.
Okay. So who knows what ADSB is?
Who are you first?
I'm Sam Dragoon. Hello. So something I've been playing around with lately is ADSB, which is what they use for like aeroplane. I suppose it's like the security sort of stuff where they're broadcasting like an emergency signal or just like their general signal to see where they are. That's open to be listened to by anyone. So it's like a pager system. They have the same thing with boats and stuff like that. So you sort of get to be able to plot, just see on a map where the planes are, and you can throw up an antenna with a radio and listen to this yourself and do some cool stuff. So,
You want your picture now?
yes, please.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Stand.
So this is something I've started working on about 4 or 5 months ago. So this is using a BeagleBone Black, but you can use a Raspberry Pi as well. So it just consists of a little Raspberry Pi or BeagleBone or whatever you have laying around. And then the next sort of component for that is a USB digital TV tuner, which has got the software-defined radio chip on there.
Don't worry about that.
Here we go.
That's just a stack trace from work. It's alright.
Yeah, so these are just little software-defined radios, so they're software-controlled.
How much? What is it?
These are like $9.
Yeah, like $9.
Don't make you decide how much.
I've never tried to get digital TV on one, but
You can.
apparently that's what they do: DVD, DB, and digital radio and FM.
Yeah, terrestrial TV.
$9. Yeah, so these can do some sort of crazy frequency. I know that they do 1,090 megahertz, which is what is used for the ADSB. And that's that smaller RF Elements box,
Station box.
station box.
The
The
non-carrying.
so you see that you've got the one grommet and it's only about that deep. Okay, so yeah, I just went down to Bunnings one day and grabbed a section of angle, little pole, a couple of U-bolts from the TV antenna aisle. This is the antenna. It's a bit different to the one I have, but I reckon this one's actually a bit nicer to use because it's got an end connector on the end. That was pretty expensive. That was about 50 euros. So that's like $100 by the time I got here, which was not fun. Not sure how much these are. Justo, do you have any idea?
No, don't make
Because we got these, the Wakan guys do this as well, so we got
oh, that was 55.
55.
Closer with a bulb on it, I believe.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, these ones are a bit nicer. They've got the nicer mount and end connector on the bottom, so you can do your coax down into your box and then screw onto a pigtail, unlike mine, which has just got the little cable straight out the bottom of the antenna.
Switch it around to
Yeah. Yeah, it's just U-bolt into the pole. Very exciting. That's sort of what it looks like all together before it's up outside. All powered on, so I ended up using, this picture doesn't have it, but I ended up using just PoE, straight from a MikroTik router board to power this. Next picture, please.
You said that takes, that one there takes
No.
PoE?
I'll get to the next picture.
Next.
Yeah. Okay, so you bought one of these little step-down things. So that takes in 24-volt normal passive PoE that we use for our router board, so straight out of like a MikroTik router or Edge router, and we'll step it down to 5 volts. So I've got just on a DC. The BeagleBone has a DC jack. If you have a Raspberry Pi, you do one of these crazy contraptions. So this is the same sort of thing there. PoE in, splits it out to a DC jack and Ethernet. And then you can go from the DC jack to USB, micro USB to power your Raspberry Pi. So we'll sort of mount in the box and just hot glue that in there. Yep.
Oops, I think I just deleted that, sorry.
All good. So yeah, the board doesn't quite line up with the holes in the RF Elements box, so you just sort of have to push down with a screwdriver and screw it through the plastic, but it's not really too big of a deal.
That's the last pic, dude.
That's the last picture.
And you said you've got still. Yeah.
Yep. Because I was going to put it on my normal mast, but it was like, oh, just one more thing to take off if I have to drop the mast, so I just went over there. Yeah, so then just got the cable there that comes down, it's just shoved up inside the box. It's like a 3-meter little thin cable.
Cool. Now what does it do?
Okay.
Give it a good thing.
Open up a web
He's
browser.
looking at me with intent, but I'm not sure what he actually wants me to do.
Oh, web browser, sorry, I actually
Plain
did
one.
this before. Just Chrome, yep. 10.104.4.4.8888.
Is there any reason why you didn't put on your main mast?
Just because it's something else to take off if I have to take the mast out or drop it or whatever.
Oh yeah, because it doesn't really hard.
Yeah. So yeah. There we go.
That's exactly right.
So these are all the planes that I can see from my roof at the moment using this setup.
Do you think you'll be able to mount the Yankee aircraft guns on your roof as well?
Yeah, so
That one's about to go over your house.
yeah,
It's coming right for you.
yeah. If you go to plane.watch as well, the guys from Wakan have got this thing set up called Plane Watch. They've been doing this for a while. They've got heaps and heaps of nodes around the place, but we've been, a few of us in there, we've got this set up of feeding into their database, which looks a lot nicer. They're doing, seeing all the flights
No
and
planes.
stuff, and you can click on it. If you go over to Adelaide, you should be able to see. Yeah, what's no planes? That's strange.
Keep track of it.
What frequency did you use?
They
Here?
can see
1090 megahertz. So
Which just happens to
1.09.
be the thing that it picks up.
So are you the only one so far supplying the plane watch from
Um,
Adelaide?
Betswin as well from his place at McGill. I think Chris is as well.
Hi,
Just in
Betsman.
Stringy movies.
Yeah, Trinity Willie. So yeah, I mean, it's just
I'm keen to do that.
Yeah.
Because I'm on the other side,
other side of the hill.
so
Yeah,
I'll be down the south.
You say you could do ships?
yeah. If you have the ships, because they broadcast the same thing.
Yeah.
But the problem is getting out. They use the same sort of technology, right? Like
Yeah.
it's
It's
just
just
a,
different frequencies.
It's
Yeah.
hard to get it.
but it's also hard to
Fly.
different frequency, obviously. But yeah, you can still use it for it, but it's hard to sort of get out there because how are you getting
From somewhere at Pilot Tringle, Australia.
Probably be okay.
Here, all of the golf.
Yeah.
It's like
See some of the golf.
Do what the Americans do, just drop sensors in the golf.
Yeah, you can like, do you want to click on one of those planes as well? Troy?
Yeah,
Sorry,
that's
Click on
on
one of
that.
those planes.
Oh, yep.
You see what it did, right?
There you go, you can like see the path as well that's been...
That's cool. Does yours do that? Does it show
Well, this is from mine, it's just fed into this,
a...
into their system, which
Yeah.
they take the time to maintain and set up, and they keep all the...
So you just send them the data and then
Yeah,
they
then
plot it
they-
for you?
Yeah. Well, this is monitoring direct, like this screen is just mine, and then theirs has got all the like plane
This goes
silhouette.
over the internet to their system.
Yeah,
So.
it goes
Yeah,
over,
yeah.
yeah. But yeah, they put all the plane silhouettes in and everything else.
Cool.
So,
That's really cool.
yeah.
How much data is it putting out to?
Trivial amounts, it's just text. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's not...
GPS coordinates, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much just GPS coordinates in the plane. We haven't really...
So they stop broadcasting once they land, or you can't see them?
I can't see them once they
Wow,
land.
this one's really hooning on that.
You see them go on the
Can you
plane.
Can you click on it? It shows you on.
Yeah, you should be able to click on the plane
Yeah,
down.
they get in for midnight.
So you can see where it is. It's probably over Perth rather
Yeah, they might be some of the Perth planes as well.
No, it doesn't take you to it on the
than.
map.
Just zoom out though.
If you zoom out, you should highlight it on the map.
It's going to be out around the middle at 37,000. So it's about right here. No? Oh,
There it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can come back. It's coming over.
See, I know the Perth guys have got like a big node like site like out here somewhere, so that's why they're getting
Alright.
coverage out this way.
That line, is it that's showing its actual
Path.
It's actual path, proper path of...
No, sorry, the down pointing.
That's just an extension of where it is
Yeah, so the plane is actually there.
relative to its
Yeah, yeah,
elevation.
So that might be. So because you got the shorter one up top, click on the other
No,
one.
no.
up top.
Here is the position of the plane,
Plane, yeah.
but that's its elevation
Yeah, that's
visualized.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's what he's asking.
yeah.
There's two planes crashing into each other over there.
What are those two going on? What?
That must
Yeah.
be an airport.
Yeah, Kalgoorlie Airport.
Right.
Can you tell who's supplying that information?
You can, if you go up into menu on here,
Can you give us a quick amount
Oh, yeah. Just
how
time.
the system is set up?
A receiver.
it has receiver and you can like toggle on receivers and stuff like that, and
That's...
yeah.
There you go, Valley View.
Valley View, Seaton, West Beach, oh there you go, so there's a few of us.
So if we ever get across to
Yeah.
Wool Bay or something, that was like the Gulf.
For sure, it'd be great to put something up there. Yeah, for
That'd
sure.
cover more of
Yeah. So yeah, you can like just click on a receiver. So if you could go back to Adelaide and click on Seaton, it'll only show the planes that are
the.
from.
Can you show what the coverage is,
Yeah, you can. If you go,
so you can see where the.
that's what the receiver range will do.
Yeah.
So if you
If
go
you
back,
go menu and receiver.
menu receiver range.
Apparently you can't see anything.
What have you clicked on?
You.
Seaton, and then go all altitudes. Boom.
Whoa. That's one big plane.
Yeah, so if you zoom out.
So that's like the pattern that I have
That's based on the data.
based on the
Yeah.
data I've collected.
Yeah.
It tells where you've picked up one of the ads.
That's well over the other side of the Gulf there.
And that's the...
Well, yeah, when
there's
they're
that
30,000 feet in the air, you can see
Yeah.
fair way.
Is it ridge lining in? So
Yeah.
I might go back the other way.
Mm.
So if we got something on that other leg there, then
Yeah.
and then potentially across again, you can start. But you can't show the whole lot combined.
So where it cuts off, you know, it's spiky at the bottom and gets cut off, that must be the range, because that's not... There's nothing
It's probably just a limit to how far it renders. Dude.
temperature of the earth.
Oh, that flat one.
Mm.
Yeah, it could be a flight path thing.
Or it could be the planes just like sort of clip the edge of that, and then that's as far as
Go
it's.
through the middle.
Maybe just the edge of your...
Yeah.
There's probably no planes that go any further out, unless you go Antarctica.
Bermuda Triangle.
Could you give us a quick rundown how you set up your dump Gen 90?
You can download the piece of software from the internet and put it on your Raspberry Pi and run it.
Plug it in, turn it on, and...
Read the README.
It's plug and play almost.
Yeah, you just download the files, copy it to your Raspberry Pi or your BeagleBone or your Linux machine or whatever, and
Make it sound so easy.
Go to the Valley View receiver range. Yeah, it'd just be interesting to see because you're
What you
a
don't
very
have
different
rotation
spot.
on it.
Right,
Load it on you.
is yours still inside, Chris?
Oh, nice. So if
Is
you
yours
go-
still inside?
You leave that there.
No, that's
go to Betson, whatever it is. Receiver.
Who's the middle one?
That's Valley View. Is yours still inside? Is yours still inside?
Ooh, excellent.
Yeah, so flight path ideas and I.
Yeah.
He gets out, doesn't he?
Because he's up on the hill more.
Yeah.
So what I see is more than
He
one.
doesn't hear as much as mine.
Not sure.
Very drunk, but
That's pretty much.
But I'm just going to be covering what you already said. We need to do
Nice one.
something way up north. Isn't Buckle Park gonna?
I think he was
Did
thinking
anyone
of
see
that.
the radar station from your house?
Which one?
The one up on the hill? Near the three radio
The weather one or?
No, the one for planes. It caught fire.
Oh.
Whether they, it's massive.
What, in
Go-
Cement Hill?
No, up
Mount
near the
Lofty.
three.
Oh, there, right.
Yeah. I just want to hear because no one's ever talked about it. I'm pretty sure I can see it from my house.
I've never looked for it. Is it behind this house?
Yeah, so you got your three towers along the ridge, going
Yeah.
that way, along the ridge, heading north, and then it's basically just down north.
Yeah, well,
It
I
watches
see it
all
from
the
here.
planes coming in from the other side of the hill, coming back
Planes
towards the
and
sea.
the
Yeah.
Anything. But yeah,
Yeah.
they got a pot in there about
What does that say?
a year ago and it caught on fire.
Right.
So they had a fire inside the gym.
Yeah.
That's
Useful.
how I got to have a look inside there. It's pretty cool.
Wow, very nice.
Any more questions?
So what was the overall setup cost for
Okay.
yours?
So mine was pretty expensive because I sort of just didn't really write anything down. I went with a BeagleBone. That was $100 on its own, $90, something like that. Pretty expensive.
So cheap now.
And that's better than the
I went with the
Raspberry Pi, or just
BeagleBone.
different?
It's just different. I mean, it has, for this application, it's probably not any better or worse. The BeagleBone has like more outputs for sensors and stuff, which isn't even being used in this. But one of the big things that I wanted was flash memory. The BeagleBone's got flash memory built into the board, so it's like nice and fast, and you're not relying on SD cards or anything like that. That was really the only reason. But you can see it's pretty much the same.
Is
Oh,
that
and
more expensive because they've got the
yep, and it has a DC jack. That was another reason. I didn't want to have to deal with the whole changing between.
USB and stuff.
Yeah, even though I bought, when I got this, they only sell it in one DC jack size. So I had to chop the DC jack off anyway and put another one on there, but that was, yeah,
Yeah, they're from JCar.
yeah, exactly. So that was fine.
did it again? What would you change?
I did it again, what would I
So
change?
that's the biggest question. Really,
What should we all go out and buy?
Can those support daughter boards? Is that what those?
Yeah, they can.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the guys from WA have got a GPS board that they put on the top of that, so it does the like time synced GPS as well. For
Where NTP is just as good, really.
yeah, right, but it's just more. Yeah,
It's hassle
If you
in
want
the
to
end.
know where you need
But they want to connect it to the net anyway. Without
to get the data right. So
But
yeah,
for cool factor, you can say that it's synced to
yeah, you can say it's just a
satellites
GPS.
instead of
Yeah,
using
let's say
NTP.
BeagleBone was $100-ish. These are like $10. Box was $60. So 100, 170.
Which we get a discount on with our extra membership.
Yeah. What's about random Bunnings stuff? That was probably Bunnings stuff was pretty pricey because I was just there and I'm like, oh, I'm just going to buy U-bolts here, and the U-bolts are like $6 each.
Yeah.
The angle was, like Bunnings price like $10 for the angle.
So you spent a couple $100.
Yeah,
$250.
yeah. All in the name of science.
That's the spirit.
But yeah, I mean, I did get two outriggers and 2 poles out of the stuff I bought from Bunnings, so it was. I do have another one of like the outriggers laying around. You just need to get some U-bolts if you want one.
And if you go with the other options.
Yeah, I mean, you
Raspberry
could-
Pi and whatnot,
Yeah, I mean,
you can get
honestly,
the
you
price.
could get like a Raspberry Pi 1 to do this, and they'd probably get them dirt cheap for like $20 now. So like that and the radio. I mean, I went pretty expensive with the antenna as well. So like you can build your own antenna if you want to out of an old piece of coax or something. There's heaps of information on the internet about that. Yeah.
It's like a nice clean.
This is a nice clean antenna, and it's got the bonus of the end connector, which mine didn't have, which I really like. So you can just do your coax straight to the bottom of the box.
And you've had any trouble with it?
That's been rock solid ever since I put it on the roof.
What else can we do? Sorry. What one?
Like that one?
What down here?
For about 3 times as long as that.
At a meter long.
Yeah.
Is that one of the ones you noticed?
The antenna?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think the one I've got is about 3 dB, and this is 3 dB gain. So what would yours be?
Some amount.
Yeah.
So now,
It works.
Gain it amount.
It's higher or lower energy better for it?
I'm not sure. I haven't
You
really.
want a bit lower energy to get bigger.
Yeah, you get
Sweet.
better range.
Yeah, well,
Basically, all I'm using is a phone PowerPoint from mine. Straight into the
Yeah. Yeah, mine's actually like outside on the mast. Don't you
Yeah,
have
yeah,
the-
it's alright.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm
Do you think that? Do you think of it on the? Yeah. Yeah, just slap it in.
Just close my laptop if he wants to dump it on top of. Just move the remote first. Crack the LCD.
It's regulated in the.
Yeah. Thanks, just sit it straight on top of mine.
It just came up like that. Yeah, that was mirroring there. Just by default. It works.
Okay.
Try it. Yeah.
I did the entire.
Does
Entire.
I think it's done. So you can show it if you. I can
Yeah,
show
we
it if you
will.
like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll let you do it if you want.
There's one problem, but that's not relevant.
You can use the touch screen as well.
Like a No, I don't like the ones that touch screen.
You will, trust me.
No,
So, I usually use the.
Oh, right. Oh,
Yeah.
figured it out. Yeah, no, it's not there.
Oh, it's
I
not.
figured it
Oh,
out.
it's in presentation.
You get Troy to take next.
Ladies and gentlemen, Joseph B wants to also give
Hey,
us a
guys.
bit of an update on his experience.
So we talked about NTP time and syncing and stuff. So I suppose. Oh, who's got the touch screen? You have. Oh,
Just
no.
touch it.
It might work actually.
How does it
Just
work?
touch.
Try and double click.
Double click.
One click.
Slide. Can I?
Try anything you want. I don't
No.
know what's going to happen.
Okay.
Well, the remote. You can just wink at me. I'll do it if you want.
Oh, okay. So what's NTP? NTP is a network time protocol. It's a protocol for time synchronizing devices across networks, pretty much. This is just a screenshot of my Mac at home, which is syncing to Apple's default thing, plus also a Raspberry Pi on my network at home. So, yep, go.
I didn't know you could put comma separated values in
Yeah,
there.
you can.
There you
I
go.
didn't actually put it in there. I manually edited the file, and then when
Oh.
you actually go back and look at it, it's there. I'm like,
Very nice.
Jesus. So NTP is basically, there is a Stratum 0, which is your GPS clocks, cesium clocks, and so on. We have Stratum 1, which are your primary time servers, and then so on down through Stratum 2 and 3, kind of general computers, mostly speaking. But that's just in reference to those. So, I mean, the Stratum 0 is, just all different radio clocks in Europe. They have one, and in the US they have WWV, I think it is, which are like a long
They're
wave
like the purpose-built
broadcasty sort of
reference clock.
yeah,
aren't they?
reference clock.
Yeah.
And Stratum 1 is basically the first thing that anybody can connect to and get time from. Now you can buy Stratum 1 primary time servers. They're anywhere from $500 to a couple of $1,000, so relatively expensive, but you can actually build one on a Raspberry Pi, so winning.
That's more our style.
So I suppose why do we use NTP or time synchronization? I suppose we want to know what time it is on our computer, our router, our radio, and for things like troubleshooting, it's like when did that thing happen? When did that link drop out, and so on.
Why did you go home?
Yes, do I need to go home? Just a couple of things. Obviously, just showing the time on a router OS device and looking when some events happened. So the device that the device that I've got is basically it's a Raspberry Pi, and it can be pretty much any one of the ones. This is an older one that another Airstream member loaned me for something, and now it got repurposed. And so Raspberry Pi. I suppose the guts of it is a GPS chip, which is that. and then a board which just puts on the GPIO header on that Raspberry Pi. There's a, on the back, there's a just spot for a battery for the real-time clock, if you so desire to keep it going when you have no power or something, but thankfully I don't have too many power issues at home, and it's pretty good. Yeah, snaps on the header and we're done. That little board, I think, was around 30. Someone's knocking. This little board was around, I think it was around £30 or so from some crowd in the UK who make them. So I'm like, sounds good to me. Plug it in, done. Sweet, right? There's a guy who's put together a custom software image. It's made, built from the standard Raspbian, Debian, Wheezy image thing. So pretty much a full-on Unix system. So yeah, just a couple more pictures showing it sitting at home there. This here is just running, I think it's called GPSD, like a little terminal on it, just showing, obviously these are all the satellites it's receiving, SNR, signal noise ratio, whether it's using them or not, and obviously just some statuses here. 3D fixes of how long I've had the program running, so it's, it doesn't run the program all the time, it's just a program that you can run just to make sure that you're getting data from the GPS and so on. So yeah, it's pretty good. So yeah, how do you use an NTP server? So on Airstream, we have a dedicated IP address in Airstream that you can put on your devices in the setting, wherever it is in your device, for time synchronization. So that's an Anycast IP address. It's announced from various places in the network. Just a couple of trace routes from EARC to that address. You can see it's hitting an NTP server at Valley View. And a trace route from down south at Cement Hill shows it hitting the NTP server down at my place at Glen. So that's how you do it. On the internet, there's a whole project called NTP Pool. In Australia, there's like 67 IPv4 and IPv6 servers there that you can use. Yep, ntp.on.net. So ntp.on.net. That's right. So that's how we do it. So some statistics. The Anycast IP, the Airstream Anycast IP at my house gets roughly 15,000 requests every day from roughly 150 Airstream hosts. So stuff all over the network. Yeah, but this is a graph from my switch at home. It's about 20 megabytes of traffic. Actually, it's about 3, because that's inbound from the device. And that's probably just ARP and MAC crap on my LAN. So. And yep, 13 satellites seen indoors. I didn't show the antenna, so the antenna just a little connector on there. There you go. And that's just inside, thrown up, and I can get just upstairs in the roof
in a
space.
window or?
No, not really. We've got upstairs. We've got just like a rumpusy type room upstairs, and it's just up there, just sitting on the floor. So it's not long enough to get to the window.
So you have a tile roof or
Tin roof.
and it's still receiving through tin roof?
Yeah,
Ah.
pretty good. So yeah, that's just a little. They're just like a little mag sort of.
What's that worth?
I think this was like $9 or something.
That's expensive.
Yeah, just eBay special. I might have even bought it actually, but I don't remember. So it's not a lot. So yeah, I suppose just having a quick look at some more details. Just looking at the stats of the hosts that we're querying, you can see a whole bunch of different devices all over the network just hitting it. That's it there, sitting at home. Well, actually no, it's here now, but it's all right.
All
Because
those computers are now going out of sync.
no, I just you can just disable the IP address from routing in BGP, and they're all now hitting Valley View. When I get home tonight, I'll turn it back on. Yeah, the top one is router board AP at my house that I think it's sending so many queries because it's actually not getting a response. So just keep sending queries. I need to have a look at that. And there's a whole bunch of things, routers all over the place, Rostrevik, Lynn, Sefton Park, all over. And there's, like I said, probably around 150 network devices I see a day, roughly speaking, hit it. And that changes a bit, like if, a link flaps somewhere, maybe another one is more preferred for a certain period of time. I think that's about it. If you go, there's a couple of references. On the Airstream wiki, you've got a time servers thing, which has obviously got the Anycast IPs. The old time protocol is pretty much not supported so much anymore. There was a dedicated IP address for it, but when I checked the other day, no one's announcing it to the network, so whatever. There's some individual servers on there. For instance, my server at home, as well as answering on the Anycast address, answers on a normal Airstream address. So if you want to do that, you can do that. So link to the CRAD where I've got the GPIO board and GPS module. Link to where I grabbed the software for it. A link to the NTP pool project if you ever decide to do one of these and stick it on the internet. So running time servers on the internet is a bit of fun.
Do they have some kind of minimum spec thing that they demand, or is it?
That your connection is on all the time. And that it doesn't drop out and stuff. No, not really. In the NTP pool, basically, if you go in there and say this is my IP address, put it in there, you can specify a bandwidth figure, which is more of a ratio than an actual bandwidth. Right. So you can do it and you put it in and you get 100 queries an hour or something.
Right.
So
that's cool.
Yeah, some of the ones I've got. I run a few servers in the pool, just in the US and stuff, and they get roughly a terabyte of packets a month. They're very small, 40 bytes.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of packets. Yes. But in the NTP pool, not many are Stratum one. They're usually they're not GPS type devices. So or other time things. If you're really into time, there's a whole mailing list called Time Nuts, and they all get in there. They've got their oscilloscopes and checking out time and everything. It's pretty cool actually. There's guys with Beagle Bones and Raspberry Pis and all sorts. So they're into all the madness of time syncing and stuff. So anyway, this Raspberry Pi sits on Airstream and synchronises a whole bunch of time every day for a whole bunch of devices. So there you go.
So what's it all worth? Whole package.
Raspberry Pi Model B, $50. And the GPS and board, I think it was about another $40 or $50. I don't know in pounds, is that pretty bad conversion for AU, but probably say maybe $100. I mean, the Raspberry Pi's Daz's, so it's on loan definitely.
It's free if you get one.
It's a free one. Thanks, Daz. No, I mean, it's gone missing. So.
In that case, what is that? It's a half.
Okay. So the rest of the case is over there. It's like a clear plastic case which came with it, but I haven't, because it wasn't mine and it's kind of on loan. I haven't hacked the case to bring the cable outside, so it just sits at home, just resting on there. So.
Any old case.
Yeah, any old case. I mean, you can just cut around the edge of the case to bring the cable out. It's not terrible, but I haven't done that yet. So, hasn't crashed, hasn't died. Update it every so often, as well as syncing to the time on the syncing to the clock from from the satellites. I've just got it syncing to a couple of other Stratum ones on the internet, just like they say, many clocks make time right or something. So just in case you lose the satellites or something, at least the thing keeps its time. You asked about the NTP poll. Basically, they poll every 10 or 15 minutes. They poll your IP, and if the time that you're giving is bad, they take you out of the pool. So next time someone does look up, you're not in the pool. So so it takes you in and out automatically, so which is pretty decent.
Cool.
Yeah. So yeah, another Raspberry Pi.
Wacom guys are using the little door board.
They're probably using something similar. Yeah, like I'm assuming it'd just be a similar daughter board with a GPS type.
I should have brought it with me.
I mean, they're tiny.
It looks
like,
like it's for a Beagle Bone.
Yeah, so it's like
it will be different.
On
Yeah.
the top of the whole Beagle Bone on like all of the pinouts. Because it brings the pinouts up as well to the next board so you can keep stacking.
Yeah.
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 I mean, the actual U-block GPS module is like smaller than 5 cent piece, so they're pretty small. You can go the whole homebrew route, but I didn't get the soldering iron out, so a bit easier. So, yeah.
Very nice.
Anyway,
Thanks for that, mate.
so, cool.
Brilliant.
Nice.
Awesome.
That's going to be easy, yeah.
You want to rip it out? Yeah. We
Yeah.
can just put that in.
So now you're going to show.
Oh, okay, yeah. There is just a minor update regarding the NodeDB, and I just had a talk with Justo before the meeting, and he said he'd fix up one of the nodes. So this is a recent import, and just to show you what it looks like when you've correctly defined all of the antenna and radio profiles on a node. I just have to restart it because that was a while back. Hold on. There were a few little things with database import that I had to fix, and with Justo's feedback, I've now sorted that out, I think. So we're getting closer to being operational. So this will give you some idea of what a fully populated node will look like when the network team or the node owners have gone across and correctly entered in all the data, basically. Give us a rundown what you've done here.
So basically all we've done is we've used this new recording system or whatever, or management system of how we add devices to a node now. So obviously we add a device and we add an interface, and then we give that interface a radio and an antenna, for example, to keep it simple. And then that gets its AP and stuff like that. So once you assign a radio and an antenna, it actually pulls data from our database and gives you a plot of what it expects the coverage to look like. So for example, there's 4 120-degree sectors, only because there's not 91s in the database at the moment. I just use 120s for example purposes.
But I put the 90 in there.
No, it's not in there. Oh, did you put it in?
Yeah, but you might have already done this.
I didn't refresh.
No, you'd already done this
My
before.
bad. So yeah, and then the same thing with like our backbone links. So
Having said that, we can change it right now. Watch. I love doing live demos.
Break.
that was this one.
Up top.
Look at that.
So that's probably an exact representation of what the sector that we're currently connected to here at Parkside. Probably it's just a couple of degrees that way.
Yeah, sweet.
Are they all 120?
Where are we now? Hang on.
I just rounded them out.
Are they all 90s?
Yeah, they're all 90s. The 2 sectors you guys put up 90s? They would have to be because they're like that.
The ones on the south side,
Yeah.
they're 90s. They're
Yeah.
Bowen 90s.
They're all
It's not
90s.
updating that. It's broken.
Yeah, it is. Look, bang, bang, bang.
Yeah. So
We're
that's what the NodeDB expects our coverage of
There's
Highgate
us.
Park to look like. There's us, so we're actually connected to this sector.
Right in the middle.
If he puts his mouse over it, it'll tell you the AP we're connected to. Put your mouse over it, which is Highgate Park North.
Sweet as.
And why
It's
is
good.
it pink and not yellow?
I don't know
Pink is 2.4 gig, so you've obviously
if I said that wrong.
you've entered a frequency on the radio that's wrong. If it's
That's border 1
uh,
in our not sorted list.
Gosh, where's it put it? Yep, frequency is naught. So how'd you
Shouldn't have
say?
pulled that from the band.
Now you get
Just
Band.
saying, don't worry.
What do you mean band?
banned.
Yeah, but that's the actual frequency though.
Yeah, it's okay. So like if you look here, this big one here is the nano bridge to Sky, and then the smaller one that goes almost in between it is the
Oh, yeah, look at
rocket dish to Tringy.
That gives you some idea of the beam width of a rocket dish, and that is an accurate representation of whatever it is, 5 degrees or something.
Yeah.
3 degrees? Yeah, so you can see why it's tricky to aim those sometimes.
It's 25 is
That's what makes them so good as well.
22 is 9.
So the only problem we have to fix is that I couldn't assign that IP address should be the same as that IP address.
Oh, the
When
same.
when
Yeah, I
we
don't
assign
have to
it.
do the same. Yeah, you're right. Okay,
There
cool.
should be. We have to add an option or something.
Yeah, that's cool.
But yeah,
Yeah, nice.
So this is looking pretty close to release that.
Yeah, so and as of the last month or so, Justo's been getting his head around it and feeding me back his reports. So yeah, we are getting there. And
So that works now. Fixed it. So all these like
Yep.
KPs and stuff, all
these
the
weren't
subnets
appearing, but now they are.
come in, and if you scroll up, all your LAN subnets are down here.
Yeah, so anything that's not assigned to a radio or a device is just
edit them individually.
yeah,
Instead
it's
of
just floating
going
around.
one by
You
one.
can pick any IP you want from any of the subnets that are available. So there's no real strict. That just happens to be a
Although that
slash.
should probably filter the local area
Just
ones.
happens to be a
and not
slash
do the
30.
client
Which
ones.
ones of these isn't? Probably those. Yeah, so you can pick any that aren't already assigned. Maybe if they're assigned, I'll put something next to them here so you just know. That,
Yeah.
that'll work.
Need to add the subnet mask as
There's a
well.
couple of duplications there, though, I see, at the end.
Sorry, Tony?
Duplications?
There's a couple of duplications at the end,
Shouldn't
Where? On the
right down the very bottom of the nodes.
down here.
Oh,
It
that
might be duplicated because IAS doubled it up. It's true. Probably because you wrote import or something.
Okay, yeah, that's weird. Never mind that.
Alex Ward's still there.
Good spot there,
It
Tony.
is, yeah.
Hey, look, it doesn't,
Not much.
it doesn't appear to be breaking anything, so we'll just
So
ignore
to
that
do
for now.
NTP. It's not listening.
Yeah, there's one at Valley View.
What's doing NTP?
The Alex board, we can make it do NTP.
At Highgate, yeah. Is it still on?
If you're not getting a GPS signal through that sort of field.
So yeah, anyway, more updates on that in the future, of course, as always at these meetings. But it's looking better.
So you can do the map like that without the...
But there's still a big step to go. We're just curating all the existing data because there's so much more structure to this database than there was in the old one. So it's going to take time for people like Justo and the managers of these nodes to go through and actually curate what's in there and make sure it's correct.
All of those has to be updated.
Add anything that's not there or whatever. But each iteration I do makes that transition a bit better. So this time around, it's almost right when I do the import. So yeah, apart from the radio information, but we don't have the radio information
Yeah.
in the old database at all. So that has to be added manually or automatically if we can scan it. Yeah. But that's otherwise about it. Any other questions before we tie off the meeting? That's been good. Thanks to you guys for coming down and presenting for us as well. And of course, if you're watching this and you've got a great idea for a presentation, do let us know. Or if you want to come along and tell us about your project, we're always interested to hear from that as well. So we'll leave you with the end of the March meeting and see you next month, which may be at... Probably not. So we probably will be here next month. Excellent. See ya.
Okay, it raffles on, guys. What have we got?